Hello. Y'all, I was pushing it today. You just don't even know. Morgan had to clean up after me. That's how much I was pushing it. I was like, I got 4 minutes. So, happy Friday. Let me just tell you, if you read the newsletter, you may have read that I mentioned a brown sugar shaken espresso. Well, that is not what we have here. We have here, it's more like a hazelnut spread latte. I'm telling you, these people on TikTok have all these fancy names for these things. And I'm like, okay, that's your hazelnut spread. And they make it look so nice. Like they spread it on the inside of their glass. And they have the fancy little ice cubes. And here I am with my whatever. It's good though. It's good. How is everybody? Let me go look at the comments since I'm, a little behind the 8 ball here. I didn't get to read y'all's comments and my mouse is acting up. I have to talk to my tech guy about this. What's going on here? I might have to use my mouse pad if I can. It's like my mouse pad for my laptop is interacting with my computer over here. I don't know what's going on, y'all. It's like, I'm serious. I can't get my mouse to work. Not even my mouse pad. Oh my goodness. Where's my executive producer when I need him, right? Let me turn it off and turn it back on. Okay, do I see the mouse moving? No, but I see things over on my computer moving. What is going on? I don't know. It's a Friday shenanigans with Carolyn. That's what's going on. I'm telling you. And I don't know why that would be happening. Let me look at my stuff here. I'm not kidding, y'all. I think my laptop is hooked up into my computer. Let me close this out. I don't know. I've never had this happen before, y'all. But I usually have my computer like turned off and everything. Oh, there we go. There's my mouse. It was like they were speaking to each other and Carolyn was ignored. Okay, here we go. Can I get to well, now where'd my mouse go again? I don't know. These are not things I know. Yeah, my mouse just disappeared again. Y'all, what is going on? Maybe I'm not meant to see comments. I don't know. But at this rate, I won't ever be able to end the live video, right? Because we'll just you'll have to stay with me all weekend long. And I don't think Bo's watching, because if Bo were watching right now, I think he would know to come in because Carolyn's falling apart at the seams. I'm serious. I have no mouse. Like nothing. Nothing is working. So I'm going to come over here to my computer and I'm going to shut it down. Because maybe, oh, look who's here. I'm telling you.
How did you break a mouse?
I don't know. But it was like it was interacting with the computer instead of.
Well, so where is the dongle from this thing? Where's it plugged in?
In here, where you plugged it in. That's where it's always
is this
been
it right
before.
Here? This blue?
That, yeah.
You sure?
That's where I've never moved it.
Okay, and there you go.
Yeah, you stay here because the minute you leave, it's going to go away. It doesn't like me.
There it is. See?
Okay, so go over to comments here. Comments. There we go. There they are. Okay. Thank you.
Shall I leave you to it?
Yeah. Well, let's hope. Let's hope you can. Just another Friday with Carolyn, that's all. All right. Well, Karen is here. Hello, Karen and Ann, Valera, and Cindy B. I love it. Kate, y'all, I got the best thing from Ann today. I'm just saying, the best thing. I'll show y'all. Katrin. Hey, Linda, you moved yet? Have you left our lonely state of Florida? Lonnie, hello. I know. Thank God it's Friday. I'm here to tell you. Debbie is here. I love it. Karen from Tulsa. is here. Karen Burnett from Scotland is here. We have Karen cubed today. I love that. And yeah, I see Bo was trying to comment and I couldn't read the comments. Hey, Liz, glad you're here. Deborah Sue. Hey, Diane. It was so good seeing you. And I got to see Diane. I got to see the Pate ladies. And Cheryl came to see me in Georgia. We're going to talk about Georgia. I'm coming back. There. I need to step away. That's all there is to. You know what the problem is? The problem is this morning when I got up, I dwaddled. And I didn't get to work immediately. And it's thrown me off. All right. Linda, not yet. You don't close on your new house until June 3rd. Okay. Very good. June 3rd. So you got like a month. I bet you are so excited. I'm glad you think it's funny, Lonnie. I'm a mess today. And Sharon, give that man a knish. I know. I'm telling you. I got your email, by the way, Sharon. Thank you for that. I haven't had a chance to respond, but I will. Okay. So hello to everyone. If I missed you. Hello, beautiful. Jean is here. I love it. Thank you all for joining me despite all my many mishaps. You are brave people. All right, so let's talk about Georgia. So Georgia Mountain Needle Arts Festival was last weekend. It was a 3-day festival in beautiful, beautiful Ellijay, Georgia. And yeah, so it sits in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, which are some of the most beautiful mountains, let me just tell you. But anyway, it is such a cute little town, and we had such a great time. It really, like, this was a smaller festival, but it was small but mighty, put it that way. And every festival has its own flavor, and I'm starting to learn, get a feel for some of the different areas. Anyway, we had such a great time meeting some customers. I'd never seen Valera and Deborah Sue and Katrin face to face. I'd seen them over Zoom, but never face to face. So that was awesome to get to see them and getting to meet some new friends. And I ran into another vendor. Y'all remember when we did Nash Yarn Fest? I told y'all that I ran into Trudy from U2 Yarn or something. I think it's called something like that. And I had met her years ago at Fiber Fun in the SIP. Well, I met another lady who was a vendor at Fiber Fun in the SIP, and she was there this time. And then Caitlin from String Theory here in Orlando, Florida was there. And so it was awesome. The vendors were awesome. The people around us were cool. And yeah, it was a great festival, and we loved the town. I think we went to 3 different Mexican restaurants, 3 different nights, had a great time, had some great ice cream and a great breakfast. And the coffee shops, fantastic. They're awesome. And then one of our best experiences in terms of things that were cool was Bo and I, like, a lot of times, I have to get my own food and when I go to restaurants, I have to be very careful about what I eat, just because if I eat things like gluten, dairy, a couple of other things, then it really kicks in my Sjogren's symptoms. And so I just avoid them. Well, so when we have something like, we don't typically do fast food because fast food often has those ingredients. So when we're at a festival or something like that, we'll stop at a grocery store and get things to take with us. And so they have an Ingles grocery store there, which I'm sure I've been to an Ingles before, but this was a Mac Daddy. I mean, come on. If you're from Florida or if you have a Publix around you, this area of Florida is staunchly Publix. There's a few other grocery stores, but you're pretty much you don't have a lot of choice. And Publix is great. It is. It has its strengths for sure. But this Ingles was awesome. some of the brands that I like that I know that I can eat, they're Carolyn friendly, I call them. This store had different products from those same companies than I'd ever seen. And I was like, oh, I've never seen this. So I had to stock up on, on a few things. And we just had the best time. Anyway, so it was a great weekend. Only about an 8.5 hour drive. So we were home Monday early afternoon. And yes, it was so wonderful to meet you all. And yeah, Bo, you just cut those first 7 minutes out. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, and Valera brought me this cool sticker. How awesome is that? I guess I should hide my face so that it doesn't blur it. Wicked Indie Dyer. So now I've got to find a place of pride for that. Stick it to my forehead. Anyway, I loved it. So we just had the best time. Oh, so speaking of that, and I bought, there was a lady there, and I just used the pottery cup that I bought from her. It's New Leaf Studios. I'll have to take a picture or something and show it. I got a little cup from her, and I'm using it as an espresso cup. I just used it today. Otherwise, I'd have brought it in and showed it to y'all, but I was so eager to use it. So there was that. And then where's my other little goodies? Oh, I bought some, y'all. I don't know if you figured out the little routine yet, but when I go to a fiber festival so far, I brought back something and we've done a little giveaway. So this was something that I bought. Now I know it's not fall or Halloween yet, but I love my fall stitch markers. So I bought that from Caitlin. That's for me. And then I bought something for a giveaway. I'm already looking forward to fall, by the way, just in case you're wondering. I also bought this cute, colorful little set of skull stitch markers. And I thought I would give them away. How colorful are they? I was really tempted just to keep them for myself, but I'm going to be nice and I'm going to give them away. So all you have to do is, whether you're watching live or if you're watching later, do hashtag Swan City Yarns, and that'll enter you to win. I think there's one hidden back there. Is that a white one back there? Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get 8 skulls. I'm so jealous. Like, I love these. Should have gotten a second set for myself, honestly. But anyway, so yeah, if you're interested in winning those, then hashtag Swan City Yarns, and I will pick the winner just before the live next Friday. Well, hopefully not just before the live, like Friday morning, because I got to quit this dawdling around and then rushing at the last minute. It's not a good look for me. All right. I love it. And I know they are fab, aren't they? They're so cool. Okay. And what else? Is there any, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I definitely have lots of dyeing to do. That's a great problem to have. So I'm excited about that. And in less than 2 weeks, Morgan and I will be leaving for Kentucky for the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival. So we are very excited about that. And right after that, because Kentucky's not that far away from Ohio, we are going to, right after the festival, Morgan and I are going to drive over to Ohio for like 2 or 3 days to visit my brother and his wife. And then, yeah, and then we'll come back to Florida. So we'll be back in time for that next live for sure. Oh, thanks, Karen. Yes. So this, I'm glad you mentioned that because I probably would have forgotten it. This is the Walk Along tee by Ankstrick. And this, I did this as a summer top make along a couple years. Well, it's been a while ago now because I actually made 2 of them. This is a great pattern. It looks a little tricky, but it's not at all. You start off with your contrast color and then she has you switch. You literally just switch the color to your main color. So it looks like it's like peeking underneath when it's not. And then same thing here. When you're done with your main color, you just switch. And she has you do a little rolled hem. I love that. And then on the bottom, it does it again. But now this one, she does have you cast off your main color and you pick up stitches. But literally, I think this might have been the second one I did. Because I think the first one I did, I made a tiny bit big. And so the second one, I made a smaller size. And I don't even think I did side decreases. But I love it because of this detail here. And they're on the back as well, that she has you do your increases along there. And so, and then it also comes down the side as well. So it's simple to do, but it has little nice detail. And this, y'all, I don't remember what this peach color is. This is Feeling Saucy is the main color, which is an orangey red that looks pretty good on my skin tone, I think. So I went with it. Was this peach fuzz maybe? It does have, I noticed it has a tiny bit of speckling. So I'm thinking it might be peach fuzz. It might have been it. Anyway, so yeah, I thought I'd wear it today. And I made it in what is now silky sock. So it's a decent lightweight tee for summertime in Florida, for sure. So speaking of that, our summer top stitch along event has begun. But before we get to that, let's talk about the April Fiber Challenge. So April is done, and I did pick a winner. So there were like over 60 entries. So I thought that was awesome for the April Fiber Challenge. So thank you all who participated. And I hope you're happy with all the new things that you tried. And the winner gets, I've showed this before, but the winner gets, it's To the Moon and Back on Trusty Sock with a mini skein of Cindy Lou Who. And the winner is, dum, dum, dum. I remember, I'm just drawing a blank, Faith Cooper. Faith is a big time crocheter. She also knits, but the entry that actually won for Faith, she said it was a new design that she was working on. So I'm guessing that she's designing the pattern. Anyway, Faith, congratulations. You are the winner of this. So I will get that shipped out to you. Now for May, by the way, it's not too late to join if you want to join in. I have not yet picked the prize. I was trying to think if I could pick something, but well, that might have to do with a later month or something, but I don't know yet. I got to think through that. So I will let you know as soon as I figure out what the prize is for May. So yes, our summer top stitch along has officially begun. So for those of you who have already posted, nice going. Some of y'all started ahead of time, and I know how that is. I was going to give y'all a hard time about starting early, but I know exactly how that is. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to cast on when the time is right, you know? And so, yeah. Sorry, Liz, yeah. Bo told you Lexington. Yeah, I've never been. I realized I don't think I've ever been to Kentucky. Every time we go to Ohio or I've gone anywhere, it's like we go around Kentucky. So I've never been. I'm excited. I'm very excited to go. So yeah, very good. Valaire, maybe you should get yours out of timeout and try again. Which one are you talking about? I'm trying to remember. If Valera does anything that's not socks, it's wow. So I think it's the one we were talking about. And I definitely think you should get it out of timeout and try again for sure. Yeah, in fact, and I'm not going to talk about all the rules about the May project. It's in the Swan City Stitchers Facebook group. If you're interested in joining, you got plenty of time. In fact, you can participate all the way up until the end of May. You do not have to have an FO. I don't know if I put that in the rules, but you don't have to have an FO. You just have to work on, making a summer top of some sort. Hey, Yvette, glad to see you. Oh, I didn't know that, Liz. You lived there for 6 years. Very nice. All right. Well, I'm excited. I might fall in love with yet another town. So, in fact, are y'all aware that May especially for, I've noticed it for a lot of influencers, me made May. So a lot of people will focus on wearing their clothing that they've made in May. In fact, some people will wear an outfit that they've made every single day and then they'll post it. I'm not a big sewer. So unless I knit up a bunch of skirts, which I don't even wear skirts that much, maybe I could knit up some shorts. But anyway, and I don't like to wear my knit stuff out into the dye studio. Although I did see something really cool recently. They make these aprons called walking aprons. And they let you, I think they're for like active people. I saw it in relation to a pottery thing recently, but I was like, oh, that would actually work well for me in the dye studio. And it looks cool on top of everything else. So, win-win. So I might have to get one of those so that I don't always have to wear my messy t-shirts out to the dye studio. Hey, Erica, winding up your sprinkles and stargazer for your summer top now. I love it. Hey, Yvette, glad to see you here. Very nice. All right. So, by the way, so let me show you this before I forget. I'm going to make sure I go through everything in proper order, or Bo might give me a hard time. We can't be having that nonsense. All right. So I went out to the mailbox because one of the lovely ladies that I met in Georgia, she had picked out some fluffy DK yarn. And then, and I remember when she was there looking at it, she goes, I think I have a color that is almost exactly like this at home. So she wasn't sure which direction she wanted to go in, but she went ahead and bought it. And then when she got home, apparently it was so close to one that she already had. So she asked if she could send it to me and exchange it. And I said, absolutely. So I saw that it had gotten here. She sent me the tracking information. So I saw that it had gotten here. So I went out to the mailbox to grab the package and ship out her other yarn that she wants to exchange it for. And I found a package from Anne, which, by the way, Anne, did you make this card too? Because it is lovely. Oh, yeah. No, it's handmade by Lisa. Well, Lisa did a beautiful job. I love it. And I think it's okay for me to read you her note. She said, thanks for loving my socks. These are for you, so you don't have to dye a skein to make a pair. Oh, I love that. And thank you for the most beautiful yarn in the world. It's official. Anne says I have the most beautiful yarn in the world. There you go. I love it so much. And y'all, look at these socks. And I've already tried them on and they fit me. Look, y'all, this in there, that's that mocha mousse colorway. OMG. And look, she made me sister socks. They don't exactly match. I love it so much. No, okay. I think one time someone else sort of made me a pair of socks, sort of. This is the first official pair of like total hand knit socks I've ever been gifted. And I love them so much. I will pet them and I will sleep with them. Anyway, I can't say thank you enough, Anne. I mean, truly. And they fit me, y'all. Just to prove it to you, I'll show it to you. Look, 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 look. Aren't they fabulous? They're gorgeous, darling. Gorgeous. I love them so much. I was so excited. Bo came walking in and I was like, look. So y'all are the best. What can I say? You just are. I also brought in something I wanted to show you. I don't know how long ago it's been. It's been a while because I think I started it and then put it aside. This book, The Unhoneymooners, I think I showed you all that I got. Oh, I found it at Aldi. Because we were talking about them having books. By the way, I bought another book from Aldi the last time I was there. I don't know. Is this going to be a regular thing? Aldi's going to have just a little tiny box of books. I don't know. But if you are interested in knowing, it's a cute book. And I have to say, a lot of these romantic comedies, I don't find them all that comedic. I mean, they're amusing, but and I like them because I don't have to really think. I once read something, a bookstore owner was saying about how and I don't remember exactly how he said it, but basically he was talking about he had broken up with someone, I think, and was going through that painful time after the breakup. And he was reading books, and it was a way of allowing him to kind of in the background work through some, tough emotions and things like that while he was reading. And I was like, that is the perfect. I think that's what books are for me in general. I love just a good, lighthearted, romantic comedy that it kind of lets other, things kind of not fester in the background, but like I process, kind of like dreaming. They say that's kind of how you process. And I think reading often for me is a way that like I can like think through things in the back of my brain, or my brain is working through them. I don't know, while I'm reading. It just seems like I was like, yes, I can relate to that. So anyway, but this book, this author definitely is very witty, because there were a couple times that I laughed out loud. So definitely a good book, The Unhoneymooners. So I can highly recommend it. And then the book that I'm getting ready to start, this one is called The Empress of Cook County. I actually got this when we were at Nash Yarn Fest, because, we did not in Georgia look for a bookstore, but in Nashville, we heard of a bookstore called Parnassus. And so Bo and I went, and I picked up this book, which I believe I think it's by a local author. I think that's where I found it, was on their display of local authors. So anyway, so that's the book that I'm getting ready to start. So Linda, I know we love Aldi too. He likes Publix because they bag the groceries. Yes. Here's what we do every single week. We go to Aldi first, and we get what we can. And then, because we have an Aldi and a Publix really pretty close to us, so it's not like it's hard. And then when we leave Aldi, because it's not just my diet. There are things that Bo wants too that Publix has and Aldi doesn't. So we go to Aldi first, get everything there that we can. And then on the way home, we stop at Publix to get everything else. So I love Publix. I do. They're clean. They have good stuff. But they know it. And it's reflected in their prices. Which, hey, I will pay for a good quality item. Priorities. It's all about priorities. But Aldi has some good stuff too. Yeah. And we don't mind bagging the groceries. Bo and I have a good time when we go grocery shopping. It's almost like a little bit of a date for us. That sounds weird. We have a good time. So, hey, Everdina, I did not even see you. I'm sorry. Oh, nice. So I don't know if any of you are friends with Everdina on Facebook. She participated in the New Jersey Wool Walk last week, and she says she won a basket. Nice. Congratulations. I love that. That's awesome. All right. What else is going on? I know, Sharon, Strand Books. I have a list for New York City, by the way. It's my New York City bucket list. So when I go to New York City, all the places that I want to go to, and the Strand is on that list for sure. Y'all are the funniest. I love it. Okay. Oh, your girlfriend makes the cards, and that is good. I love it. Does she sell them? Yeah, I sometimes, so at Knitcessities in Orlando, Vanessa's mom, Jackie, makes cards, and sometimes I'll grab a couple, because when I need to send off a card, then I can just write it. It looks like I made it, but I didn't. I used to like to make cards, but I just don't, unfortunately, have the time. So, and Lonnie says the batted, if I'm saying that correctly, is drying. That's that awesome shawl that she is sample knitting for me. Yes, miles of books. That sounds like, yep. Sharon does the same with Aldi and Publix too. Yvette, wish we had a Trader Joe's. Yeah, I would not mind a Trader Joe's nearby. We have a Chamberlain's, which has good stuff. But we used to have one that was very close to us. And now the closest one is North Lakeland, because speaking of Publix, I think Publix ran them out of their shopping center. Wonder why. I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying they were in the public shopping center. They're not anymore. But so now we have to drive to North Lakeland, which if you know Lakeland, I mean, Lakeland is not that big of a town. It's not nearly the size of Orlando or Tampa, but it takes us at least 30 minutes to get to North Lakeland. It can take us 40 minutes, 45, because we're way on the south side of Lakeland. So anyway, oh, I love that y'all trade things. That's so cool. The Aldi's, and I've heard that. Yeah, that the Aldi's or in grocery stores in other countries, right? Sell yarn. That's very interesting. Pick up some yarn when you go do your grocery shopping. I love that. All right, so I have projects to show you, and I'm pretty sure. Hang on, do we have new? Oh, I bet all the different markets. I've seen that. Some of the people that I follow on TikTok. I like following food people on TikTok. What can I say? And some of them live in New York City, and I'm like, what? Yeah. Holy cow. A Whole Foods and a Trader Joe's. Oh, that's like heaven. I just live around the corner from one of those. For both of those. I mean, that's what I meant. If I had one of those shopping centers, I'd live right around the corner. I could just walk there every day. Throw in a little coffee shop. Oh, man, I tell you what. Okay, let's look at what, and I know I'm missing some. So please forgive me. I was in a rush. I will go through my pictures, and any that I missed, I will show next week. This very first Swan project is Everdina. And she is doing Purple Leaf Plum. I know because she had a lovely time with one of the skeins, who was a booger to her. But it says she's starting on the next section, short row 1, hubba hubba. I can't wait. I'll show you my progress here in just a little bit. And then let's see, this is Anne. She is starting a pair of socks with not sparklers. I'm getting my names mixed up, sprinkles. And then she's going to use Stargazer, Go Big or Go Home, and Neon Moon. I love that. And in fact, I know one of the projects I'm missing, Anne, is your little Casapinka shawl. I just realized I don't have that one. So I will show that next week because it's awesome. All right, these are Valera's socks. Have y'all seen these yet? So Valera she's going to have so many socks by the end of the season. She is keeping track of the Cubs scores on the games. And that middle, I think it's the middle sock. Can I see that? I should have included, yeah, it's the middle sock. You can't hardly see it, but down on the toe, she has basically stitched in an arrow because she's going to have multiple socks because she's doing the whole, I'm going to get the terminology wrong. Bo's going to give me a hard time. Anyway, she's doing the whole season. And is that the right word? Do baseball games have seasons? Hockey season. I'm trying to think. Anyway, she's doing all of their games. And look at all the red, by the way. That's a good look, which makes her happy because that's the score of the Cubs games. So anyway, she brought these, and I had to take a picture because I love them so much. All right. And then here, this is a lovely lady named Val, who crocheted the hourglass top, and she did it in bottle green. How gorgeous is that? I'm pretty sure this is from She Sells Yarn. Val is one of the customers there, and that was where she got it. It looks good. In fact, I was like, that doesn't look crocheted. That looks knit, but either way, it's gorgeous. I love it. All right, Cheryl stopped by. I think I told y'all. And she showed me her sweater. And of course, I didn't write down the name of the sweater. I know she's told me the name of the sweater multiple times, but I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. So, but that is Pomp and Circumstance with, I'm trying to remember. I got so excited that somebody was knitting with my yarn that I think I forgot. And I'm trying to remember. It was a colorway that I was like, wow, you wouldn't have thought that it would go together, but it looks, I mean, stunning, and it fits her so well. She does such amazing work. I love it so much. So thank you, Cheryl, for that. And then this is just one of the many pictures that Lonnie so graciously posted about the batted shawl. It's basically a mix between a shawl and a cowl because you knit it in the round. And I can't believe how fast. The lady who told me about the pattern was like, it takes a little bit of time because of the welts, but no, Lonnie just banged that puppy out. She's already got it in the blocking bath, and like, wow. So I'm so excited to get that. That's an awesome pattern. That's a Stephen West pattern, by the way, if you are interested in making your own. And then Deborah Sue also brought her shawl. This is one from one of the recent Dying to Knit dye sessions, basically. And she included, and I don't know the names of the colorways. I should. If I were better prepared, I would know. But anyway, she brought it and I was like, we have to take a picture together because those colors look so good on her. So yeah, I cannot tell y'all enough. It was such a wonderful, wonderful trip. We had such a good time. It was lovely. Okay. Oh, interesting. So Liz, you learned to knit in France. I love that. That's so fabulous. Karen, yep, they got it at Aldi's. Okay. I have to remember that. When I was in Scotland, it seemed, did I go to an Aldi? I'm trying to remember. I don't think I did. I would have noticed if I had seen. Innings. Hey, Margarita. No, but they're not innings. She's doing it from every game. But I appreciate the terminology. Baseball, you've got innings. In hockey, you've got periods. And then in football, you've got quarters, right? I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. And I don't know what's going on, but Bo and Yvette are making a deal for yarn and groceries. I like it. You got to have both to survive, right? Okay, where am I at with my projects? Let me show you. You would think that I would have gotten further along on my Stockholm slipover in Georgia, but this is as far as I got. Here it is. So I have to tell you, two different people have made a comment about this looking small. So we were sitting in the festival, and it was, I want to say it was Sunday afternoon, and things had slowed down a little bit. So I was sitting there knitting, and a lady came up and was chatting, and she said, "What are you working on?" And I said, "Oh, the Stockholm slipover." And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "The Stockholm slipover," and I hold it up. She goes, "Do you have a child?" It's for me. So I said something to my mom about it, and I've tried this on, y'all. It fits. Jeez. I said something to my mom about it. She goes, "Well, it does look kind of small." And I said, "Well, it's a vest." I said, "This is just the shell. I still have to put the neckline on, and I have to put the finishing for the sleeves. But I've tried it on, and I'm confident that it fits." People giving me a hard time. Anyway, so I'm not sure how long I'm going to make it. It occurred to me the pattern actually has you do 2 sets of side decreases. So that was all I did. I didn't do any more. And I might end it a little bit short, like a kind, not total crop top, but a little bit. And since it's a vest, wear it on top of another shirt. I mean, I'm wearing it on top of another shirt anyway. So I might make it, have it end, I don't know, another couple inches, and have it end right there. That way the shirt that's, underneath will peek out. So I like that. However, I had to set that aside last night because I started my gauge swatch for the Fiorellino. I just like saying it that way. So here I am. And I don't think I have that much more to go. What I think I'm going to do after this. So this, by the way, my mess back here, I think I've shown y'all before. This is how I emulate knitting in the round. Do y'all know that technique? Do you gauge swatch? But I think what I might do, I've got enough on there to go ahead and do, I always do a quick measuring to see if I'm like way off. If I'm way off, then I can go ahead and rip this out and either go up or down a needle size and start over before I even worry about blocking it. But if I'm close to what the pattern says, then I go ahead and finish it and block it like normal to see if I am indeed where I should be. And I'm hopeful for this one because unlike my experience with petite knit patterns, Isabel Kramer and we seem to be gauge buddies. In the past, my gauge has very closely matched hers. And so that hasn't so far been a problem. But I have noticed that the longer I've been knitting, the more my tension has definitely loosened up. I'm much looser knitter now than I used to be, which I think that's a good sign. I probably was choking the yarn more when I was first learning to knit because I was constantly like dropping stitches off the needle. But I don't do that as much anymore. And so yeah, I'm hopeful for this one. So I'll probably do that today, and I hope I'm on target so that I can cast on and get going on the pattern. So yes, thank you, Anne. Yarn is stretchy and it will be fine, even wearing it over another shirt. All right. By the way, and y'all probably can't see it, I think I forgot to tell y'all, do you remember a while ago I had started the Striped Step Socks by Stephen West? And I made some progress and I do like the pattern, but I realized, okay, I think like I literally right now have have 4 active whips. And that for me is huge. There was a time when I was like 1 active project is all I could do. And right now, 3 is really all I like to have. I start to get a little anxiety when I have too many. So I ended up taking out the striped step socks, and I'm still going to use this Mad About You set, but I'll just make a different pair of socks out of it. Maybe I'll make another pair of socks for my sister-in-law. Yeah, out of this. We'll see. But I'll do something with them. And but yeah, I didn't make any progress on the Stay Toasty scarf whilst I was gone. And Bo's socks, I did not make any progress on. So that's where I am. All right, now I have something. If you're in the Swan City Stitchers Facebook group, you may have seen it, but that's the only place. Well, if you're on the website, you may have seen it. Because I haven't posted it anywhere else. I didn't even put it in the newsletter, but there was some interest in it's called Extra Light Bright pattern by, I know it, but it has left my brain, the designers of it. Laura posted the pattern, and the Extra Light Bright pattern is a fingering weight pattern, calls for 5 skeins, the short sleeve version. Well, they have a short sleeve and a long sleeve version. And then, by the way, they also have a DK version. That's the light bright pattern. Extra light bright is the fingering pattern. And if you make a short sleeved version of it, from my research, when I looked at the sizing, a five skeins of fingering weight at 100 grams will get you any size in it. So a couple people were asking for some fade sets. And so I put 2 up. I put up 2 fade sets on the website. I can't show you the one because it's sold out. So I put it on pre-order. It's called I don't even know what it's called, but it's in the Color Riot collection. And so it starts, I could have shown you, I suppose, in one of the other, in some of the other yarn bases, because I have all of the colors, just not in one single base right at the moment. Anyway, if you're interested in that one, it's on pre-order only for the weekend. And I did give a little break on the price, just a little bit. But yeah, because I can get those dyed up next week and they'll ship out if you're interested in that. The other one, and I've changed the other one, because y'all didn't seem as interested in the other one. But here's the thing, y'all. Take my word for it. If you've never done a fade, a true proper fade looks best. This is just my opinion for what it's worth. I think a true proper fade looks best when all the colorways are actually speckled, because you have more of a variety. And so when you're alternating the skeins in that fading part, it looks so good. So here, this is the, I would call it new and improved. I don't know. 5-piece set. I think I called this one fun. I don't know what I called them. But anyway, this is up there. If you go to the front page of the website, I think it's right there because it's under what's new. And this is one of the most recent products that I put up. So on the left, and you can, I was playing around with these. You could literally move these around in almost any order. Like you could shift these. Well, let me tell you what they are first. This is a Hallmark Holiday. This is a brand new colorway called Chapel of Love. And I named it that because it seemed like we were kind of doing a theme, because we've got Duke of Hastings and then Dappled and Charcoal. But anyway, Chapel of Love came about because it was actually, for those of you in Dying to Knit, it started out as a practice colorway for next Thursday, which, by the way, we have Dying to Knit next Thursday. And I realized I had gotten the base color too dark. It was that gray, which it almost looks more of a taupe here. But anyway, once I realized, oh, that's not what I want. That is not what I want to go with. I was like, okay, well, maybe I could make up another color for the 5-piece fade. And I fell in love with this colorway because I put some of that cherry red in there and the mauve that you see in a Hallmark Holiday and some of the brown even that's in there. It's not one there. In there, you can see it kind of breaks a little bit. I'm loving this colorway. Anyway, so at first it was going to be a one-of-a-kind colorway. And then I was like, oh, no, I think I like that too much. So I wrote down the recipe. Anyway, so this is it. But I was thinking you could literally put Chapel of Love first and then go to a Hallmark Holiday and then Duke of Hastings, or you could even swap Charcoal and Dappled and go from Duke of Hastings to Charcoal and then to Dappled. I mean, the options are endless, y'all. This is a good set. I'm just telling you. A good set, but it's only going to be up there over the weekend, and I'm taking it down. So if you're interested, there you go. All right, what else? There's some other new things. I know, Linda, isn't it a great? Oh, thank you, dear. Happy Go Lucky is the bright neons, fluorescent colorways. And then, which, by the way, Caitlin from String Theory was so sweet. She said, those colorways will glow in the dark, don't you? And I said, will they? I suspected they would, but I hadn't actually played around with it and taken a black light to it. She goes, I have a black light. She pulled it out and was doing it over those yarns. It's very cool. So anyway, if you're interested in that, that'd be awesome to wear too. Because I know y'all go to those late night raves, all night raves. You party animals, you. Hey, Michelle, glad to have you here. So anyway, yeah, where was I going with that? Okay, some new things that I put up on the website. Y'all know July is coming. July, we have to celebrate Christmas. We do. It's Christmas in July. And as Bo said, June is Christmas Eve. Not really. However, July, because it is Christmas in July, I have a new thing. And by the way, there's a bunch of events coming up. So this summer. So if you're around your local, check them all out because we have fun things coming up. So first of all, let me just tell you, June 7th, so literally a month from now, I will be at Knit and Stitch Boutique. I'll be doing a full trunk show. And then I'll also be teaching a class on working with hand-dyed yarn. So you know, we all, no matter how familiar you are with working with hand dyed yarns, we all, if you have a stash, you've got a couple of those wild and crazy skeins in there that you're like, I don't know what to do with this. So, and if you are really unsure about it and you tend to kind of shy away from those skeins, then this is a good class for you, because we'll talk about that and things that you can, how to handle those skeins and what to do with them, and how to maybe get an idea of what they might do when you start to knit or in crochet. I'm not a crocheter, so, you know, limited there, but when it comes to knitting, I'm your girl. So that's June 7th. And then I think that's it for June. Okay. Now in July, Christmas in July is coming. So first of all, just so you know, the Advent calendar will go on sale in July. That's right. And I've got it all worked out, except the packaging. I got to work on the packaging, but I'll have that figured out before then. So here's what we're doing. Y'all helped with this. A couple of months ago, we were talking about an Advent. So the Advent, one way of looking at Advent is the 4 Sundays. So we're going to do 4 sock sets, sock bundles, whatever, that you get to open up. And I was going to do it on movies. You know, I love my Christmas movies, but I decided, nope, I found vintage Christmas cards that I love, and they will be the inspiration. So you'll get a few of those vintage Christmas cards in your package that inspired the colorway. And yeah, and you'll get your main colorway plus a mini skein. So, and we'll have fingering or DK available for you. So that will go on sale. And then also July, okay, 2 things in July. July 19th, this is brand new. Dottie and I cooked this up. I'm going to do just a mini trunk show, because June 7th, I'll be doing a full trunk show. So the next month, and I need to do another whole trunk show. We're going to do just a mini trunk show of Christmas colorways, holiday themed colorways. So she has requested a self-striping. So I'm going to try to do, if I have, as we'll see what time allows, I'm going to try to do a Christmas self-striping and a Hanukkah self-striping yarn that I will have that day for sale. So, and then in addition to that, we're going to do the holiday themed sock blank dyeing. I always have other colors as well if you don't want to do holiday colors, but this, I'll talk more about this in upcoming weeks. But if you haven't ever dyed a sock blank, it's so fun. And it's not a sock, it's not a dyeing class per se. I don't teach you how to dye yarn. You can pick up some tips, but it's dyeing a sock blank rather than, you know, a skein of yarn. But it's cool because you can put down the colors that you like. You can even make a self-striping colorway all of your own. In fact, Angie, at the last event that I did this, she made, I need to post a picture of it because she made self-striping yarn out of her sock blank, and it really came out well. So it's fun. I give you all the equipment, the dyes and the gloves and, you know, the apron and all that stuff, and you dye it up, and then I set it for you in the microwave. And all you have to do is take it home and give it a little bath, and then you can knit or crochet with it or whatever you like. Yes, July 19th is that one. Hey, Teresa, glad to see you. Oh, that's always good news, Linda, that a moratorium on yarn dyeing will be over. And so, yeah, so that'll be July 19th. And then the very next week, Saturday, July 26th, I will be at She Sells Yarn with, of course, Christmas yarn as well. I'll do a full trunk show there. And there we're doing the working with hand dyed yarns class as well that day. That is on my website, and I have links to all of these if you scroll down towards the bottom of my webpage. And that on that day, we'll have that class. And then also there's only one opening left at like 1:30, I think, to dye up a botanical dye class for dyeing a silk scarf. So this one's a little bit smaller than what we'll be dyeing up that day. But these are nice silk scarves. And I have some new colors. I just got in some indigo and I want to say it was rhubarb, something that in the picture looked like it should show up green. So I'm going to try it because I soak these with soy. That's the binder that we use. And so we'll see. So if you've done this before, but you're thinking you might want some different colors, then I got one opening left at 1:30. And you can dye 1 or 2 scarves, just so you know. So if you want to make one for yourself and one for a friend or a loved one, you can always do that. All right. So that's July 20. Whew. Yeah, it's going to be a busy summer, y'all. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. I love anything to do with Christmas because, right then, fall is literally around the corner. And fall is it is entering into my favorite time of year. October, November, December. It's the best. I don't know what it is. It's just my favorite time of year. I love it so much. So yeah. I don't know what y'all are talking about. You're probably up to no good, aren't you? Oh, yay, Sharon. She might actually get to see us at She Sells Yarn. I love it so much. I know. You're a world traveler, lady. You're hard to pin down. So, yeah, you might see us in New York. You just never know. Well, at some point I'll be in New York. That's for sure. All right. Have I forgotten anything? If you can think of anything, speak now or forever hold your peace. So today is Friday. Normally we would go grocery shopping after. Well, first I have shipping to do. I have a few very important orders that I have to get out. By the way, I mentioned it in the newsletter, Color Riot Collection. I'm shipping out today. Some of the yarns are going to Knitcessities and also to the Traveling Yarn Yogi. So they will have theirs at some point next week. And then I have a couple of online orders to ship out. So I will ship those out. And then Bo and I are going out to dinner. Yes, we are. We're going to have a good time. Hey, I hope that you all have a great weekend. Let's see, are there any holidays this weekend? I don't think so, right? It's just what's today? Today's the second. Oh, Mother's Day is coming up, but that's not this weekend. That's next. So, yeah. So you've got plenty of time. Oh, your birthday, Teresa. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Teresa. Happy birthday to you. My birthday's in May too. I think yours is before mine though. It sounds familiar, like maybe we've done that. Oh, Cinco de Mayo. But the post office isn't closed, right? On Cinco de Mayo. That's just a party time. Go get your margarita. For Cinco. Oh, one of the restaurants, y'all, that we went to, I just have to tell you, one of the Mexican restaurants that we went to, ended up being the best one. We liked the food. Their guacamole was essentially avocados, not even fully mashed. And they just had this amazing blend of and all the things that would go in guacamole or salsa was laying on top. Oh, it's fresh, so fresh. But they had this music. It was so loud and it was just like pulsing and it was like the same, very repetitive. I thought Bo was going to lose his marbles, just so you know. It made me think of that because we drove by and they had a sign out for Cinco de Mayo coming up. So anyway, oh, Karen, you have a bank holiday. What does that mean exactly? Does that just mean the banks are closed? Like, or is that like a government Derby Day? Oh, is that already Derby Day? Yeah, that sounds about right. Do you celebrate that, Sharon? I don't do anything with Derby Day. I do plan on, I might actually get 2 days off this weekend. I've started a thing recently where I actually take Sundays off. And I'm not complaining. Listen, when I started Swan City, it was busy, busy, busy. And I didn't mind that. But Bo he's been guilting me Not really. I needed to take some time off. So when I've been able to, like last weekend, we were gone to the festival. But prior to that, I've started taking my Sundays off no matter what. And I find that I'm actually more productive during the week having taken Sundays off. So it's been a very good thing. But I decided that this weekend I might actually take off Saturday and Sunday. Just imagine all the knitting I'll get done. I might even finish my Stockholm slipover so that I don't have so many active whips, and then get my Fiorellino posted. By the way, I know that it's a busy time, so I appreciate y'all posting your projects and whip pictures, and that really means a lot to me, especially when you post them elsewhere in other groups and let people see that. It's huge. So thank you so much. And I will stop yammering now and wish you all a great weekend. And I will see you next Friday right here. All right. Bye, everybody.